All right, what's up, guys? Before we dive into today's shenanigans with Raelynn, Miss Baytown, hometown hero, okay? Today's shenanigans are brought to you by EBOOST. It's the clean, healthy energy drink alternative. I'm rocking the blue raspberry super fuel. What you got over there, Mr. Hoopstar?
Orange mango.
Orange mango. Let's go A&T. You want to go A&T? A&T. We'll go cheers. I don't know if you go down on that. We go down on that. Okay, cheers. Hit your local Kroger, CVS, Sprouts, Wegmans, or select Publix. Used to say Publix's. Select Publix or click the link in the episode description to find a store near you. Shout out eBoost for sponsoring the podcast today. And I don't know if we said it because it's our second take, but fair warning. Do we give a fair warning on this?
And we're looking a little roughy.
Looking a little rough. It's our earliest episode ever, but nonetheless.
Raelynn is looking, great as usual.
Hey, I don't know what got you through the week, but I'll tell you this. Blue Raspberry, eBoost, Super Fuel.
They've been by my side.
Let's get into the pod.
Yes, sir.
UFC superstar Jorge Kane Brown Masvidal, dude. What's going on, baby?
What's up, everybody?
What up, everybody? Welcome into Man to Man Podcast. Today we're switching things up and talking man to woman. Please welcome on the show singer-songwriter, social media star Lauren Gray. We know you like the DJ.
I am okay.
$1.99 for a banana bag, bro.
You got your eBoost? All right, cool. What's you sipping on over there?
Well, eBoost needed it.
Stuff's so good, bro.
Yeah.
All right, what is it? What's today?
They would be.
Today is, I guess, when was the episode? What is today?
Today's Sunday, right?
Today's Sunday. What's the date?
I wish I had my phone, but
Anybody got a date on it?
anybody know the date?
Is it the 21st?
It can't be the 21st.
No, it's not. Today's the 16th.
16th, okay.
Today's the 16th. Got a new credit card, by the way.
You got one?
I got one. And I'm
How'd that
using
go?
it. I'm using it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You got that good limit, or you got work the
Yeah, the
limit?
limit's good. The limit's good. The limit's almost too good. Yeah, it's great. Anyways, Raelynn episode. This one's dope. We've been trying to get her on the pod forever now. This is our earliest episode. We've never done an episode in the week, and me and you got a little athletic on the Friday night before that. Just because we're watching Pacers right now, and we're not fans of the New York Knicks. We're their fan base.
No, it's a tough game. 7. I guess when you listen to this,
So
you'll
game
know.
7, you'll know what the outcome will be. Hopefully, Pacers just can't win at Madison Square Garden. Dude, okay, so I told you that I wasn't going to go out this past weekend. I was like, dude, I just need a night for myself.
Yeah, he just called me and said, hey, I don't think so. I was just going to take it for my night. I was like, hey, I respect it.
And
Next thing I see is a fucking Instagram story of you getting athletic.
Yeah.
What's going on with that now?
I rode the bull. Yeah.
You rode the
The
bull.
bull was fun. I didn't even think I was going to post that, but I guess Ross just... Yeah, anyways, I went to DraftKings and watched the Pacers, game 6. And then I rode this bull for the first time. The bull is hard, dude. It was crunching on my little McNuggets, dude.
Yeah, it didn't look...
You can't hold it with 2 hands either. You got to hold it with one, otherwise you're cheating. What?
It looked kind of painful when you...
Oh, yeah, it was super painful, bro. Went up there, and then we got a little bottle upstairs. That was fun. And then that sign... the Man to Man pod, that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I put that Tipsy song, on that Instagram story. And I went fishing yesterday, and the boys aren't with the song. They said it's overrated. The Shabuzi.
Well, this is the thing. It's been out for like almost 2 months now, and you just now picking it up. Yeah, which is I see that. Yeah, because it is getting overplayed.
Is it overplayed? Okay, cool. Yeah, I guess I'll stop playing it. But I use that over the IG story. But I had a night, dude. I think I'm getting my swagger back, and I think it's the hat. I really do think it's the hat. You can't take the hat away, dog. I got to get my hat game up though, so maybe we can go shopping and go pick a couple out for me. No Diddy, but yeah, no, it was funny because we went upstairs and I'm like talking to the bartender. I'm like, hey, let's do a shot, like smile, come on. I've been working here since fucking 3 p.m., bro. I said, well, I'll be here till 3 a.m. with you, sister. And then I was like, yo, let me take you out. And she's like, I'm gay. I said, are you bi? No, I'm just straight up gay. I said, all right. And then I get the 2 bottle service girls' numbers. And I just ended up texting them. And it just wasn't kind of a cool move because they didn't text me back.
At least you're out there, though. You know. And
then I got another chick's number, dude. So I'm going to keep going to Broadway. I'm having a great time. Dude.
Oh, shit. See, that's the thing. Like, we say we hate Broadway, but
I've changed my mind about Broadway.
But I think you are also doing it differently than what everybody else is doing.
How so?
Like, you're not really bar hopping.
No, I'm just hitting, like, DraftKings is a super cool bar, like, on Second, and then it's got the rooftop right there.
And if you're not bar hopping and going to these rally places, like the DraftKings, I think could be lit every time you go. Yeah.
DraftKings is fun because we get put in the VIP section.
Yeah.
And I don't know how Ross fucking does it, dude. He just knows everybody. Which is awesome. But then what? Yeah, that, dude, it was so funny because, like, I had to go home and I went to Cookout at like 2 a.m. And I think I parked my car and it was packed. I parked my car in the parking lot. And as I'm walking inside, I think these 2 dudes, like, they got their windows down at the drive-thru. And then there's a guy working at Cookout that's, like, conducting traffic to try to get him out and shit. And I think I said something like, hey, don't forget to ask for the extra McNuggets or the hot sauce. And I think I just knew right then and there, I was like, I should not be where I'm at right now.
What time is Cookout closed, bro? 2 a.m. sounds like that's the cutoff, no?
It was like, it was either like 1:30. I think I made the cut, but I went in there and I didn't even know what was going on. And I think I got the wrong order too. And I just threw it all away when I got here. So, yeah, but no, it's been great. Update on the high school gym crush, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's Alley 500 on you.
I think I'm Casper the Ghost on this one. I got humbled, dude. But I texted her on Monday and I was like, yo, like, did you pass all of your exams? She was like, yeah, 2 days later. And then I was like, all right, cool. Oh, I don't even think I told you this, did I? Did I tell you what happened?
You told me about those texts.
Yeah, and then I said, hey, if your fake ID still works, let's go get a drink.
And she never replied.
Nothing back. Yeah. So that's where I'm at. Yeah.
That's fine.
You can't win them all, dude. You can't win them all.
And you haven't seen her at the gym either, have you?
No.
Yeah, she changed her schedule. She probably is, about to hit summer up, bro. You remember summer before going to college?
No.
I think that shit was one of my, like...
That's when I made my Instagram name, Chose the Kid.
Yeah, that was like one of my favorite times.
Really?
Yeah.
What were you doing?
I was just going places and doing shit every weekend, not worrying about shit.
Yeah, I love to go places, man. But dude, let me tell you this. Right. Let me tell you this real quick. And then Saturday I went fishing, and that's gonna be my new thing. So please come out with us.
I will.
Yeah,
it's
so fun, dude. It's so fun.
I definitely will.
And it's so therapeutic, bro. You just get out there. I don't want to look at my screen. I've been looking at my screen, all these screens all week, and you just get out there, play some country music. First time I kind of vibe with Zach Bryan. I guess I like him. He's kind of a whiny little cat, dude. It's like he got that, he's got that vulnerable, like, music to him. It's like, yeah, okay, I think I've heard this one. Which song is this? And you're on 2 albums later.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's great. Didn't get any luck there. I caught a bluegill, but I hooked him right in the eye. So I can't. I was trying to take a fish off a fucking hook. And then we ran out of worms, but dude, I'm going to keep doing that for a minute. So yeah, come out with us, try to get like a kayak or something. And then what happened after that? I guess we went to Neighbors in the Gulch, watched the Mavs beat the Thunder, and then went to LA Jackson, which LA Jackson was bumping last night. Dude.
I didn't know it was after hearing it from you last night. I didn't know it got that rowdy in there.
Oh yeah, it gets rowdy, and it's a bitch.
I thought it was
it's a bitch to try to get a drink, dude.
Yeah, I thought it was more of like a come sit and have a drink, and
it's high class. I think it's people like that live in the Gulch. It's like their pregame spot or whatever. But anyways, it's all Will Levis there. Yeah. So here's the story. I'm buying shots. Well, I guess Summers bought the shots, but just buying shots for these 4 chicks. And then while I'm talking to them, I'm like, oh shit, that's the quarterback for the Titans, Will Levis. He's a 24-year-old little millionaire now, dude, you know? And probably lives in the Gulch. I think I've seen him a couple times in the Gulch. And I was, after the shots, I went to go like say what's up to him. He was a cool dude. Dude. And then after that, he's talking to the 4 chicks. 15 minutes later, I probably can't say this, but I think, can I say this?
Yeah, I think.
Okay, cool. Okay. He just took him, I think he took him back to his place.
Yeah.
I don't want to air his shit out like that, but
I mean, he left with them. We could say that. He left with them.
Okay.
I don't know what they did afterwards, but
I would have finessed it too, though. if I were the girls, because they were just in town. Like,
yeah,
they're like, oh my God, you're the Titans quarterback? Like, where do you live at? Oh, like, fuck, I would do the same thing, bro.
You know how easy it is for somebody like a Will just to pop into a place and just, hey, they figure out who you are.
And by the way, he's the man.
Yeah.
He's the man.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, man. Good times. Good times. But here's the thing that I'm now starting to learn. One, I think I got the swagger back just a tiny bit, and the people listening to this are like, "No, you don't." Which I promise I don't. I'm just trying to placebo effect my own self here, my own upstairs Brizane, dude. But I think the eye contact is crucial. This is gonna sound weird, but I'm trying to just make serious eye contact with somebody on purpose.
With like chicks?
Yeah.
Is that like when you're talking to them or not yet?
Not yet. I think I'm trying to just stare longer than you should. You know what I'm saying? Somebody told me to do that.
Well, if you get them to notice you, you'd be like, why is this dude kind of staring at me?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, this guy kind of might be attractive to,
yeah.
Might be attractive.
But here's the thing that I've also learned, because I was trying to talk to this one chick last night. She was beautiful, beautiful redhead, dude. And she was leaving, and I was like, hey, like, I've been meaning to say what's up to you all night. And she turns around, and I'm like, we're making weird eye contact right here at like an angle or whatever. And then I get bumped real hard in the shoulder. This guy getting past me, and I kind of like, I get, knocked off a little bit. And I go, it was so embarrassing. I was like, never mind. Have a good night.
Hey, shooting shots when you're getting in the gym.
But here's the thing. I'll say this that I've noticed. I'm like, damn, dude, like, I could have, said what's up, to more people, but it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
It's just the beginning.
That's why I'm excited to get back.
Twosington is coming out strong with Mr. Hoopstar, hopefully here soon. But
yeah, that's why I'm like, damn. You kind of sliding along without me, and I'm like, damn, he's meeting Will Levis and shit like that. I want to get out there. You
were saying introduce the lady bros to Will and kind of get in that way.
Yeah, bro, why not? That's motion. If you're getting drinks with these girls anyway, hey, let me go, introduce you if you already know them and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah.
I just think you have, and I was examining that entire situation in my head, and I'm like, you have to be the coolest guy at the bar, and I was just not in that state of mind. Like, you have to be the coolest guy to act like you know these four girls, and then act like you know the quarterback for the Titans, and be like, hey, ladies, I didn't even get their names. I think I got one of the chicks' names. Yo, come meet my boy. Like, is that how you do it? Like, come meet my boy Will Levis.
Yeah.
Yo, Will, I got some friends I want to introduce you to.
Yeah, and he's not gonna think anything of it. It's just like that gives him more of an ego boost. Like, if somebody came in and was like, "Hey, here are four girls. They would like to meet you, bro." I would be like, I would be fucking egoed out at that point.
Yeah, I guess. I mean? And I bet I could do it too, because I'm like this little, like, I'm a small dude with a little bit of bubbly personality. Oh, we got Cody Ash pulling up. Dope. So this is the next interview you guys will see after this. But let's get into the pod with Raelynn. Raelynn on the podcast. Happy belated.
Thank you. I just turned 30, bro.
So we're close. 30 in a month.
30 in June.
I'm 28.
30 in June.
Yeah.
Dude, yes. So you're still holding on to those 20s.
That's why I was telling somebody earlier. I was like, there's no more me saying I'm in my 20s anymore. Somebody, no. I'm 30 now. It's like...
I felt like I was 30 ever since I had a child. Like, I feel like
which was at 21, right?
Hell no, man.
Or you got married at 21.
I got married at 21. Yeah. I had a baby. If I would have actually, I wish I would have had kids earlier, which is kind of wild. But like, I had Daisy when I was 28. So,
28.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I was 28. Was I 28? Yeah, I think I was 28.
So instead of like the dirty 30, let's call like the purty 30,
Yeah.
Like, why not,
Yeah.
So what would you say, like, what should we be looking forward to, like, into our 30s? Like, are you excited for your 30s? Because me,
I've only been 30 for roughly a week now.
Right.
I would say, I think 30 is from what I've heard, like your early 20s, you're still figuring shit out.
Yeah.
You're 21, you just like learned how to drink. I started my career at 18, so it's like I feel like I wouldn't go back to my early 20s to save my life. Like the insecurities, the BS, the trying to fit in. I think the one thing I'm excited about in my 30s is I feel more confident and settled, and and like I'm okay with whatever happens in life. Like life's too short, but also like, you know, you only do get one life, and like taking the moments, like social media is BS, all of that stuff. Like, but in your like my early 20s, I felt like I was just such a people pleaser, and I just really don't care about that anymore.
Would you say that that's like the LA lifestyle since you moved out there so early? You kind of got pushed into that. By the way, we had Shaylin on, and I was telling you before this, I was like, were they signed to Republic at the same time out there in Los Angeles?
I wasn't signed to Republic Los Angeles. I was signed to Big Machine.
Okay.
So when I was on The Voice, they didn't have a countryside, so they went ahead and because it was all kind of under the same umbrella at that time, and so they gave me to Big Machine. Okay. So I was signed to Big Machine through Republic. So yeah. Okay. But I think the crazy thing about record labels is you can be signed, like for instance, Zach Bryan is signed to Warner, but he's signed to Warner LA and not Warner Music Nashville.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is wild.
Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. And you're from Baytown, which is like close to Houston area. I'm from
Baytown, which is close to Houston area. Baytown, Texas. It's kind of like, I don't know if you know where Galveston is too. Like that's where our beach is. Galveston is the shittiest beach you will ever see in your life.
Are you still going on the weekends?
Not really. I mean, like it's pretty gross, man. It's like murky water. Like when I went to Florida, I was like, "Whoa, this is like the Bahamas." Like it was like it's like gross, pretty much. Okay. But it's a beach.
Well, so we're supposed to know like what that is if you're like telling like Nashville.
Yeah, I mean like I know you probably wouldn't know, but it's by the water. I mean we were never landlocked. I didn't realize like in Nashville you're a little bit landlocked. I mean you have the lakes and stuff like that, but we had a beach 40 minutes away.
Well, that's like us, like just hitting like Percy Priest Lake and just being like, all right, like I guess I'll go catch a fish or something. Like we're always the guys in high school from Nashville that would go to like Florida or anything like that. Yeah. I've never been to Houston or Texas. I don't know.
You never been to Texas?
Never been to Texas.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
So you're from Nashville?
Yeah, both of us.
You both are?
Yeah.
Where'd y'all grow up?
Like Green Hills area.
Wow. Green. I can't imagine growing up in Green Hills.
Well, it's a lot different now than it was.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Like
it's like the old Nashville, too. It wasn't. I don't know. I guess I'll ask you, what do you think about the new Nashville and the old Nashville versus the old Nashville? Well,
I moved here in 2012, and even in the span of 12 years, it's gotten so different. I mean, when I moved, I first moved, I had a roommate in the Gulch, and we lived in Velocity, and they were building Pine Street. Okay. And so I moved from Velocity to Pine Street, and even everything down there looked so different than it does today. Yeah. And my manager at the time lived on Gray Bar. You know where Gray Bar is, obviously. If you live in Green Hills, you know where Gray Bar is. And so I lived in Pine Street, and it was like record time. This is the quickest apartment building to go up. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And literally the first time we had a freeze, the pipes above me bursted and my freaking whole apartment flooded. I didn't even live there for 6 months. And then I ended up moving to Green Hills on Gray Bar. And that's where I lived for like 4 years. And I loved it.
My mom is in the Terrazzo building now, but we used to live there when it was just the Velocity, the Icon, and the Terrazzo. And she's actually moving next month into the Icon, which I've never even been in that building.
Icon's great.
Yeah, no, it's crazy because I used to live on 12 South when it literally was 12 South. It was like Frothy Monkey, and then you go down to Edge Hill, and it's like, okay, maybe stay away.
Yeah, it's gotten so different.
Yeah. Well, how was it like growing up in Baytown? Like obviously you kind of know like the Nashville vibes and things, but like what was like your life growing up in Baytown next to Houston, Texas? I
mean, Baytown. The one thing I love about where I grew up is it's a lot of blue collar workers. It's a lot of chemical plants. So you have like Bayer, ExxonMobil. So everybody there has hella good insurance because you never know when a plant's going to blow up. Thank God there's nothing ever been anything
big for that too, because we were going to do a funny little true and false game. I was like, this is just too much about Baytown and facts. And I was like, with the petroleum or whatever, the gas.
Yes. And I mean, it smells like shit sometimes. Not all of it, but there are parts where you drive through and it's like, it's a different kind of city lights. You see it, it's all like it's all the factories. But you have
the wrong type of gas,
True. But you have a lot of hardworking people that live there. And my dad has a tire business, and his tire business is in Houston. And so I grew up, most of my childhood just going to the tire shop when I wasn't at school. I felt like we moved so much throughout Baytown. Like I was always at a different school, and then I ended up starting to homeschool in high school. So I homeschooled all of high school and then graduated early. But I mean, we're just classic kids. I mean, like hanging
Any
out.
siblings?
I have a lot of siblings. I have 7. So my husband's one of 7, but my mom had 4 kids in her first marriage, and my dad had 3 in his first marriage, and then they came together and had me. So I don't have any like full siblings, but they're all my half siblings.
Right. I know this story from another interview that you were talking about, and then the song "She Chose Me," the song like went super viral on TikTok.
Yeah.
Great story. Teared up a little bit.
Thank you.
Why were you bouncing around then? Just like, what were you like trying to do music, and you were like, well, I should be next to these kids, or I should be in private school or public school. Like, why were you bouncing around?
I think that.
Or I
really don't know. I think my mom was just kind of bouncing around a lot, and I think I was just along for the ride. You know, my family. I don't really know why we just were always moving.
Yeah.
Like
and then
my
how
mom,
do you
my
graduate
mom's
high school early? What is that?
I just did. I mean, I was just sick of school. I hated school. I wanted to get done, and I was like, what am I doing in the summer? And homeschooling is not that hard. I mean, like, and so I just did, instead of stopping during the summer, I just kept going throughout the summer. And I was on a really great program, and my teacher probably knew that I was like, I'm trying to like leave and be a country artist. I ain't trying to do school. And she was like, okay. So she kind of helped me like with studying and stuff like that, graduate early.
Nice. Then when did the music then start? Was that like you knew from the early age that I'm going to be the singer, or what?
Well, everybody in my family was super musical. My cousin was in a Christian rock band called Leland. They're really big when it comes to like the Christian gospel world, CCM. And so I always like loved doing music. I didn't know that it was my like passion until like I started just picking up a guitar and writing. I started writing songs when I was like 14, 15. I learned how to play guitar on YouTube. And when I was a little girl, my dad used to take me every single year to the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And that's the biggest rodeo in the U.S. is in Houston. I mean, you'll see any artist when they get to play the Houston Rodeo, it's like the mecca of life. Like it's 70, 80,000 people in there. Dang. Like it's huge. It's huge. Yeah. And the cool thing about the rodeo is they have country acts, but I went and saw the Jonas Brothers there, and then Hillary Duff back in the day when she was doing music. Like all
Celebrity crush, by the way.
Yeah, so freaking Hillary Duff is the best. Yeah. And so anyways, like I grew up just going to that legendary rodeo and just saw all these amazing artists play, and I was like, I want to do that. Like that seems fun. And I don't know. I just never really had a plan B.
Did I hear that you started drums before anything though?
Yeah. Okay, so I started playing. My dad, I didn't really I've tinkered around with the guitar, but I was like, I want to just hit some shit. Yeah. Like I want to just go crazy. And I thought girl drummers were super cool. Yeah. And so, and it's funny because do y'all listen to screamo music? We
used to listen to System of a Down back in the day.
Oh my God. My mom hated that band.
I would say the farthest that I got was Green Day.
Do you remember Under Oath? Do you remember them? So we used to go to a few screamo concerts, and I just thought the drumming was so sick. Even though I wasn't the biggest fan of screamo, but I loved emo music. I went through a classic emo phase, and the drummer of one of the bands we used to watch called Under Oath, who is great. He's now producing my stuff, which is so full circle. Nice. But that was one of the big reasons why I wanted to play drums, because I just thought drummers were so sick. I was and it'd be sick to see a blonde get
that is cool.
I don't know. One day I'm gonna add it to my show where I'm gonna play drums. I know.
You should. We did
just one song, maybe just
one song.
Hey, I'm
actually about to hire a girl drummer because I just think it's sick.
There you go.
There's something about that female energy on
Move
stage.
back, hey crowd, I'm gonna go drum this one. Just hang in there for me.
We did the mosh pits, I think, at 6th Avenue, Rocketown. You know what I'm saying? Did you ever get in a mosh pit or anything?
No, hell no. But I went to those, when we used to go to those emo concerts growing up, they moshed, and it was classic because everybody's, they're in their Hot Topic skinny jeans and stuff, and I'm wearing cowgirl boots and a sundress at and that was always me. I would go see Nicki Minaj at House of Blues in Houston, and I'd be the only country girl there, with my country girl style,
What are your parents being like? I'll go, hold up, let's get it back to the country roots here, I
mean, I've always just loved music, oh my God, country music's my first love, the songwriting, everything, but I just loved music growing up. I mean, Houston, like that's where Beyonce was, like Travis Scott. Like there's been so many huge, like even R&B artists come from Houston. I mean, Houston is such a mecca for music too. So, I mean, I didn't just listen to one genre.
Right.
So then when you kind of niche for country?
Yeah.
When did you start to make a move to maybe get out of Houston and to exploring other areas for music?
So for me, I was taking like acting lessons in between doing like music. I mean, music was just more of like my hobby, like just singing and writing songs and stuff like that. But I was doing acting lessons in Houston, and I had an opportunity to go to Vegas to do this big audition. And then I ended up doing this audition and ended up getting an agent for acting. And that's why I ended up moving out to LA for about a year. But the LA grind wasn't my vibe. I made it almost a year, and it was just wasn't.
At what age?
16.
16.
Yeah.
And I just felt like a fish out of water, and I met a lot of great friends. I still have those friends. I'm going to California this weekend for shows, and I'm excited to see all my buddies. But it just wasn't the whole like acting sphere is just like you're walking into a group of all these girls that are trying to get the same part as you. And I was just like, hey, how's everybody doing? And everybody's like, don't talk to me. Like you're
like competition.
You're competition. And I'm all about healthy competition, but also like if I'm not meant to get the part, I'm not meant to get the part. And if you get it, congratulations. Like, but I just wanted to meet friends, and I didn't feel like it was a friendly town. Right. And so and one thing I will say about Nashville is, you have a lot of artists, but everybody really does root for each other. And if you're not rooting for each other, people will find out and nobody will like you. So it's like, it's one of those things where this is a town of like wanting to truly like support each other. And
that's why it's special. Like when people ask us, they're like old Nashville versus new Nashville. That's the one, like the new Nashville kind of sucks. It's cool for us like millennials and things like that. But like, it's just growing so much, and you just are you losing your natural roots. But the one thing we do have is just the people that are still cool that stayed here and did music. Ernest's dad was like my Bible teacher. And,
really? I grew up with like him.
Mitchell Tenpenny and Ernest, and seeing those guys now.
Do you know Dallas Wilson too?
Don't know Dallas Wilson.
Really? Because Dallas and Ernest played. Was
Michael.
it?
Stop. I got a cat right there.
Is that your cat's name, Michael?
Yeah, Little Michael.
Hilarious.
Yeah, Little Michael. Hold on, shut that. No, I don't know who Dallas Wilson is, though.
But Dallas is a songwriter. He writes a lot for Lainey Wilson, and he played baseball with Ernest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I remember Ernest when his name was Snow.
Yeah,
we always talk about that. I remember Snow, man. Twisted on tequila.
Yeah, when he was just trying to be a rapper. That was so funny.
Listen, one thing about Ernest is he can do whatever the hell he wants.
Yeah.
He's so talented. Like, I've known Ern since I've been in Nashville. I mean, I would consider Nashville home now. I've been here for 12 years. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, the new Nashville, the thing is I feel like an old lady. Like, I'm so like in my own world when it comes to my child and my marriage. And like, I've been married for this year, 9 years. So it's like me and my husband are in our own la la land of the world. And it's like, I don't even like pay attention, which I probably should, but
I didn't really hear you well. What was the audition out there in LA? Was it for music or acting?
It was for acting. It was for acting. And then I ended up, because I had so much free time because I was 16 and was already graduated, I ended up just playing like little local gigs. Gotcha. And so I was playing this coffee shop, and then I met a woman that ended up starting, opening the doors for me here in Nashville. She's like, you should be in Nashville songwriting. And I was like,
what did that first year like in Los Angeles as a 16-year-old look like? Like, what were your parents saying about it? Like, did they go out there with you?
Yeah, so every month would be somebody different. So my cousin would come stay with me one month, my mom, my dad, my stepmom. So different people would come stay out with me. I mean, they were very, very supportive. I will say my family was super supportive of my dream of doing it and just getting it done. And it was fun. Like, my cousin would come out and she'd be like, go to California for 3 weeks? Yeah. Are you kidding me? Like, we had an apartment. Like,
free vacation.
Free vacation. Like, it was sick. And I mean, I wasn't really.
Next to a beach that we'll go to.
When I think about, listen, I wasn't that busy. I had like one audition a month. So, like, I was like living pretty good. You know what I mean? Like,
so you were signed to the one agent or whatever that was trying to get you an acting role, but then you met this one other lady at the coffee shop.
Yes.
And is your current agent being like, hold up, we're still trying to get acting auditions here.
And
like roles.
but they weren't really doing it. Yeah. So it was like, So then I was like, well, I just do not like it here. I'm going to go back to Texas. I'm going to start going to Nashville. Nashville was already kind of my second home because my cousin was in Christian music. We used to go to Nashville all the time because that's where like the hub of Christian music is in Franklin. And so I was like, and I had family in Nashville, and I was like, okay, well, I would rather go to Nashville. You know, that's more my vibe. And so I wasn't planning on moving here. I was just planning on staying a month, going home or whatever. And then I ended up coming down. I got like a short-term rental at Velocity with my girlfriend, and then I never went home.
Yeah.
So I never forget. I was just like,
happens, you know?
I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get another.
When did The Voice, I know you mentioned it,
Yeah.
is that kind of like the next big thing when you got here was like,
Yes.
I gotta get my name out there if I'm going to really do this?
Yeah, so when I moved back to Texas and I was coming down for a couple weeks to write, around that period I auditioned for The Voice in Nashville. And then it was so funny because I literally left LA in April, and it was like right before my birthday because I ended up going home, and I was living back in Texas on my birthday. My 17th was my 17th birthday. My 17th birthday. And then after that, I auditioned for The Voice that August. And then that November, I was back in LA for The Voice auditions, literally staying 2 miles from where I lived in May.
no
Damn it,
kidding.
but
I
this
was
is
like,
so good at the same
no, but
time.
it's like, I was like, but it was funny because all my friends were like, you're back. And I was like, not really, but it was funny. And then like, I'm literally like driving around. I was like, and everybody was like, well, how does this redneck chick know all about the Burbank area? I was like, because I lived here. And it was kind of full circle and really funny.
Yeah, that's
But
impressive.
And The Voice ended up being a great experience for me. And obviously I was on Team Blake and got to do so many cool things with him and been on tour with him. And he really opened a lot of doors for me in this time.
How was that experience as a whole then? That process of going into LA to film, and then what comes next right after that once you know you're kind of on
Notoriety
a
or
roll?
whatever.
Yeah, I'm kind of getting my name out there more now.
It feels like a blur now because it was so long ago. And I think I was just I had such tunnel vision, and I was just so focused on the next thing, and just working. Like, honestly, I worked my ass off as a kid. Like, I mean, because I was a kid, I was 18.
Right.
And I just had such tunnel vision for what I wanted, and I honestly give a lot of that credit to my parents. Like, I had very, very hardworking parents. Like, they always worked their asses off. So I think that for me, like, it kind of feels like a blur because when I look at my life now, like, I'm 30, and I think about all the like life that I've lived so far, it feels pretty wild.
You're also in the fast lane too.
Yeah,
just
you are in the
music,
fast.
you know?
You are, and it's like, so I think recently, like, I've just tried to just enjoy every moment, and I think the biggest thing for me though was this community was really special for me, like the writing community, even the record labels. Like, I've switched labels and switched management, and I've had so many different people in and out of my life, but they're all still friends of mine. And the community here, like, it's not, I mean, I'm sure that there are snakes in every business, but I will say I really do feel like God's protected me in the way of, like, all the people that I have been in contact with, anybody that's been in my life is still somebody that's really special to me. And, you know, that's why I never burn any bridges, because you never know who's on their way up or on their way down. And you always make genuine relationships, and it'll always work out.
Yeah, that's interesting that you said that. It's like there's no bad blood between.
No.
Because when we were even doing research on you, it's like, okay, she's bounced a little bit from here to there, because you probably did have people in your ear being like, okay, sign here, sign here.
Yeah.
You know, was it kind of like that? And did you ever feel like pressure came out of that and you're like, God, this ain't it? But at the same time, I'm not going to burn bridges with this.
No, I mean,
these people.
the thing is, it's like it's a business, and you can't. When I first started, I mean, I was 18. I thought my first label was going to be the label I was at forever.
Right.
I thought my first manager was going to be the manager I was with forever. I thought, everything was, rainbows and unicorns, but it's not. And you realize, oh, this person, they're looking at their bottom line. They're looking that they're in the red. They're not in the black. And it's like, when you look at it as a business and not as, just getting my feelings hurt, it really does help. And I'm not saying that you can't have those relationships, but there's a way to have relationships and also be a grown up and be like, okay, I got to put my big girl pants on and realize this wasn't because they didn't love me or didn't think that I was great. This was because this is a business for them too, and it has to make sense for the both of us. So, but that took obviously some learning. I was 18, so it's like
if someone came up to us like, a big record label, yeah, we want you to go through. Oh yeah, dude, where do we sign the paper?
Yeah.
So how do you stay consistent through that then, as an artist for yourself that writes songs and goes on tour? How do you be consistent in knowing that every time you go out there, you're gonna give it what you got? How does that work if you have so many like these relationships and business sides of everything? I'm always curious about that when we talk to artists.
Well, for me right now, I'm fully independent. So
Right.
I think the one thing that's stayed consistent is the fans.
Mm-hmm.
Country music fans are unlike anything else. And now that I'm out of this you kind of feel like the redheaded stepchild a little bit when you're, that's they say it's true though, when you don't have a label. But it is beautiful because the only people that you truly lean on are your fans, and they're the ones that are buying tickets. They're the ones that are supporting you on socials. They're the ones that are streaming your music. And I think the one thing that, we forget is it's them. It's not these, of course, big labels and all these executives with millions and billions of dollars, they're going to help you get your face out there and your name out there. But if the fans don't absorb it, then it's just a waste of money. And so there's so much you can do right now without any of that, just on your phone and by writing great music, finding something that connects. And I think that's been what's beautiful for me. And I'm still on the road. I've been traveling like so much these last 2 years, and I'm doing a lot of solo shows, which is cool, and I am doing 5 stadium shows with Kane this year, which I'm very excited about.
You got 25 minutes, or you
25 minutes, or 25 minutes, baby.
Go. Let's go.
It's going to be a big old medley, but it's just I think the consistency is you just got to keep on doing it. And all my friends that have made it, like you see Elaine Wilson or Dan and Shay, like I have so many buddies in this industry that I've watched just have overnight success, but it wasn't overnight. It came with years and years and years of grinding. Mm-hmm. And that's why I never give up, because I'm just like, what if this was the year that it would happen? Right. And like, this was the year that I gave up. Like, I was like, there's no plan B, and there can't be a plan B. And my view of it too, as long as I'm making money and doing what I love, I don't care about the rest of it. Like, that's... You're fine. Yeah. That's what truly matters. If you're doing what you love, like, nobody can put a price tag on that. Nobody can put a price tag on happiness. And when I look back at my career, and then I look back at my personal life, like, I've not only built something that is going to last for my family, but I've built a family. Like, I'm not looking back and being like, oh, I'm lonely as shit and have nothing, like no legacy besides music. Like, I didn't want that. I have an amazing husband. I have a beautiful daughter. And that's truly what matters. I think, one thing about marriage and having a child is like, it's really grown me up in ways that I've never expected. They always say a kid will change your life. It truly does, because the rest of the shit really doesn't matter. Right. It does, but it doesn't. Right. And, my job is to be the best mom that I can. And I'm not going to focus on what some Joe Schmo says about me on Instagram or whatever. Like, that doesn't matter. What matters is when she grows up, knowing that her mom was present and knowing that, I bring her with me to meetings. I have somebody that helps me a couple days a week, but if you want to meet with me and it's the day that I have my daughter, she's coming too. Yeah. And I think that's important. And that's one thing that my parents did with me. I went with my mom and dad to work. Anytime I was with my dad, on his weekend, because my parents were divorced, we were in the truck driving around doing tire deliveries. And I think that really instilled in me that, hard work is important, but also my dad still wants me with him. And I'll never forget that. And so there's probably, to me, that is probably a bigger reward than anything that I've had.
Right. We both grew up from single mothers, and
wow.
My mom owns a skincare business in Nashville for the past
cool.
like 20 years. So I would just bring my Xbox and bring it into the closet. And just play
what's her skincare?
Wax Pot Skin Studio.
Oh, cool. That's awesome.
Bounced around everywhere. But happy belated Mother's Day.
Thank
by
you.
the way. And I think I've heard you talk about that too. Like all you take with you is family. You know,
It's
it
true.
doesn't matter about anything else. And plus, again, going back to the Nashville roots, like you can probably still like be friends with all these big artists and collab with them, even if you are independent and things like that.
Yeah.
I imagine too, with you just building what you've got already. Tour. I'm curious about what's on your rider.
What's on my rider?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have a kid, so I have wipes,
There you
which
go.
is classic, and diapers, because listen, you never know if you're going to forget diapers.
Yeah.
That's my funny one, my new one. Random things, I always have a blanket, like a little fleece blanket, like just a tiny one, because I love blankets.
And she's coming on tour too then.
Yeah, and
All
she's, on my rider, tequila,
Food.
food.
Drinks.
I love cheddar jalapeno Cheetos. I have those on my rider. I have hot Cheetos on my rider. We always end up leaving at the end of the weekend with so many Cheetos. Like anytime I'm on the road, like consistently, like I have so many Cheetos. And I have like sugar-free creamer.
Gotta stay caffeinated for sure.
Kombucha. I think one of my band guys has kombucha.
Kombucha is actually fire.
Red
You got
wine.
kombucha?
No, I haven't. I just never even thought about it.
With you doing a solo tour right now, what's like what are you doing after shows? Because we've seen the guys like Mitchell. He just did what with Luke. I guess he's on tour with Luke Combs, and I got to go on the bus or whatever. And they're having a good time. But like, what are you doing after shows? You just having a good time? Or are you on the way to the other city and just sleeping?
I mean, it depends. Like if it's a bus date, I'm gonna shower, do my skincare, make a drink, maybe like drink some wine.
Yeah.
Brush my teeth and go to bed. Yeah. I'm not.
Would you say the bus hangouts are a little overrated, maybe?
Oh, for sure.
Or have you had like some of your best memories on like the bus?
I to me, it's like they're all like my brothers, and so we'll all talk about the show, talk about life, and go to bed.
And I'm tired.
It's pretty chill. Like it's definitely not like. I mean, there are camps that are wild. My camp's not wild. Like I'm too old for that. Like, and two, I don't know. I'm just like, to me, I think that stuff is so stupid. Like,
because everyone that's not in music is like, man, that's probably really fun to go on tour.
Now buses are fun. It's like a big old bandwagon, but also boys smell.
Right.
Like,
right.
I will say my band guys now, like, and even I've had very like manicured dudes. Like they like everything, and what I mean by that is like they like everything nice. They like a fresh candle when we're parked. Obviously not when we're driving. They clean up after themselves. They vacuum, because it's like it is your home away from home, and I hate it when it's dirty. Like when the bus is dirty, I get so stressed. Like I go into cleaning mode like right away. Like I just. And everybody wants to be in a nice environment.
Right.
The worst is like when the toilets breaks or something like that, and you can smell it, and it's like that's the part of touring that's like, or it breaks down. And
funny story. Johnny, our boy Johnny, he does merch for Mitchell, and he was like, dude, Mitchell gets so pissed if you shit on the bus. Like you cannot shit on the bus. And Johnny was like, I had to go so bad one night, I just snuck out there like 3 a.m. and he had to tell the bus driver, because I guess the bus driver has to clean the shit up.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, I gotta go, man. But it's like, it's courtesy. Like you can't really use the restroom.
No, you can't. You can't, because then you're not allowed to.
Yeah. And you get on them too. You're like, dude, don't.
No, you don't.
Go outside.
Yeah.
So where's next? California?
We're going to California this weekend. I have CMA Fest coming up.
Nice.
And then doing some shows in Texas in July, and then I have this stuff with Kane, which will be great.
Yeah. Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, so I'm one of 4, so it'll be me, Low Cash, and then he's got different direct supports. And it's going to be awesome. I mean, I love Kane. Kane and his wife are some of me and my husband's dear friends, and they're so supportive of just my music, but just as friends and family. But I'm really, really pumped.
You know Martha?
Yeah, I love Martha.
Yeah, so I used to work at Get Engaged. It was like a different
Oh, wow.
marketing.
Yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
who Cam Fordham is?
Yeah, he
everybody
sounds
knows him.
familiar.
But anyways, we were in the same like WeWork space as like Kane Brown and like his management and Martha and things like that. But his story's pretty cool too. Martha like, founded Kane.
Yeah, she found Kane.
Now he's popular. So what cities are those in?
We're going to Arlington, Texas, Los Angeles, Colorado, Fenway Park. We're going to Boston, and then Seattle.
Nice.
So some good shows.
And then you just dropped the single, which is the same name as your tour.
Funny Girl.
Okay, so are we seeing an album like coming up?
Yeah, I'm working on it.
Let's go.
I'm working on it. It's gonna be, great things take time.
Yep.
I probably changed my record 5 times, which, welcome to being an artist. But I'm really, really excited about it. It feels a lot like me, and I'm trying to find the right home for it. But I'm being patient, and I think the fans are really going to love it. So
nice.
Take me through that writing process then. If you know that you have something coming up and you said you changed it, 5 times? How does your writing process maybe go in terms of just being the independent artist that you are, that you don't, like you hear record, they like have deadlines that you got to maybe get some. For you kind of just get to do it naturally?
I think I don't know. I think it can be bad and also good. When you can make your own timeline, you, like me, second guess every second. You're like, okay, well, I'll just push you back because I have 3 great more new songs. And so the great thing about when you're signed to, when you're like, okay, this has to be done by this time, it's like you can't really like touch it, which is probably good. But also, I also don't want to invest all this money into something until like I know it's right. And so, because when you're independent, like for me, it's all my money. So it's all the money that I've gotten from, music and stuff like that. So it's, I'm not saying, if I partner with somebody, sometimes they'll give you some money for music, but I'm like kind of right now. I'm
talking about just like a distribution.
Yeah, distribution or.
And do all independent artists go through a distribution?
Yeah, we all have to go through distro. Like for me, I'm with STEM right now.
Okay.
And they're great. But yeah, I think that's the thing that's the hardest is like, I probably should just be like, all right, close chapter, it's done.
All right.
But I haven't
sometimes
gotten to
that could
point
be
yet.
like construed as like disingenuous sometimes if you're a writer, because we've talked to a couple of like artists and they're like, well, when you have that like deadline, it's kind of like, all right, well, I have to get it out, so if it isn't perfect, I'm still gonna release it.
Especially when you're like, you have deliverables, dude, that you gotta like get to, and it's just like, this is so stupid. I'm just gonna give him. I think I heard one artist, he had like I don't know, he put out like an entire blank album because it counted as like a deliverable
Just
for like a record label, dude.
No.
Okay, cool. And then do you have like any other plans of maybe, and I don't know, this might be a weird question, but like as an independent artist, like you finding other talent that's like under you, maybe like, you know what, like I would love to like put some like, I don't know, light on her.
Totally have ideas to do things like that. And I get inspired so much by new artists and songwriters every single day. And I'm still learning. I'm still learning like what's, my craft. There's never a time. Anybody who says that they've got it all figured out is lying. Like you should always be learning how to be better in whatever you're doing. And so for me, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm always like, how can I be a better artist? How can I be a better performer? How can I be a better mother? How can I be a better this? And so, I really want to, invest in the next generation. I would love to eventually, like have my own business and have my own publishing company or something like that, and be able to mentor, especially young girls, young women in this industry, because it's a really grueling industry, and you gotta have community. And when you have community, it gets you through so many other obstacles that you think you couldn't face and you can face. So
you wouldn't even say that you've even had like a breaking point. It's all just kind of snowball. It's like a snowball effect, because a lot of people do talk about breaking point, what you talked about with Dan and Shay and Lainey Wilson. You would kind of say it's a snowball effect too, because some of these people that we're talking about may not know what to do, or they're trying to get on TikTok and put all their songs out, but it just don't happen like that.
It just happens or it doesn't. And it's like,
let's go on The Voice.
And it is going to happen. It is. The thing is I always say you can't work this hard and it's not come from it.
And it probably wouldn't even be fulfilling too.
Yeah.
Right?
And it's like, if you work hard and you do it every day, eventually you're going to find your believers, and eventually you're going to make it in your own way, shape, or form. And the great thing about the music industry right now is it's like the wild, wild west. You don't have to be signed to a major label to have fans. You don't have to be signed to a major label to have success. You can literally go to DistroKid, put your music online, blow up on TikTok, and you have fans. Like, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, we used to not have that. Like, you used to only have 5 or 6 gatekeepers to this whole industry, but that's not the way it is. And that's, to me, something that, we should be really grateful for.
Yeah, I love it. Are you planning to put in any like 808 beats? Like in
always,
song?
Man.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I have
that's
808s.
that's the new, like, I love Morgan Wall. I went to his, but like he actually.
Did you go to the show?
I did.
What show did you go to?
The third night when he walked out by himself, but he brought out Hardy and Bailey Zimmerman.
Oh yeah, I was there.
Really?
That was my birthday, May
Really?
4th. Yeah.
I was there and that right I guess in front of the mini stage that he pulled up to.
Oh, cool.
Behind like one of the ends.
Yeah, we were there.
I was like, hell yeah. I was trying to explain to you, he was like, my mama, and my grandmama are here, and I was like, hell yeah, did it right in front of you. That was a sick show. Because he's always putting 808 beats.
Oh yeah,
into
it's
his
sick.
songs
He's
and things
great.
like that. A couple more here. First move in rock, paper, scissors.
What do you mean? Like the first one I always do?
Yeah.
I always do rock
Okay.
because I am a rock.
Usually it's scissors. I asked because I went up to New York last year. We're a couple single dudes, so maybe we could get some advice from you too. But that was kind of like my move. Like I was going up to like chicks in New York and be like, first move, rock, paper, scissors. And then they'd be like, okay, what do you do? And I'm like, well, I'm a writer for like a sports media company and I got a podcast. And then they were like, yeah, red flag. So,
Well, you got to quit. You got to quit doing both of those things.
yeah, I know. And then maybe like the coolest, like, I don't know, person that you've worked with, or maybe I'm always interested. I've never been in any of the studios in Nashville. So maybe one of the cooler like studios you've been in Nashville along with like working with somebody.
One of the coolest people I've worked with. I mean, I got to work with Dolly Parton one time.
That's
I did a
nice.
Cracker Barrel thing with her, and she picked 5 artists to like mentor and like where they could ask her questions, and she picked me. And I like literally felt like the coolest person ever. So that's probably one of the.
That's awesome.
Like
actually.
I was like shaking when I was around her. Like, and I had met her before, and I bawled my eyes out when I met her. But she is probably one of the sweetest human beings ever. So I would definitely say her.
I like it. Did you see her at the halftime show?
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Dude, compared to
Wait,
Jack.
my favorite thing was at Bustin' with the Boys where they paused and they're like, "Hear me out." Like,
Hey, just saying. I'm just saying. Not saying, but I'm saying. That was funny stuff. That's funny.
that was funny.
And then 2 more here. Raelynn is not your real name, right?
Raelynn, no, it's Rachel Lynn Davis.
Rachel Lynn.
My maiden name was Woodward though.
Woodworth. Okay,
Woodward.
okay. We're going to try a new segment on the podcast presented by EBOOST. It's a healthy energy drink alternative. Segment is called Mount Rushmore. Like, who's your country?
My country Mount Rushmore. That's 4, right? It's 4 people, right?
4 people, yep.
Just making sure.
I mean, you could do 5 for an honorable mention if you need it. But
No.
4.
I would definitely say George Strait.
Okay.
Duh. Dolly Parton. Duh. My country music Mount Rushmore. Does it have to be country music? All
I don't have to.
Post Malone. Come
there you
on,
go.
throw
I saw
Posty in there.
Post at Bridgestone too.
Post Malone was the best thing to happen in country music right now. Like he is
good.
saving the world by being in country music. Post Malone, I would say right now, and
Have you met Post?
I have not. He's my dream collab.
Apparently so nice.
I'm trying to think. My 4th country music Mount Rushmore. Who else do I
Or you
like?
can mix it in. You can mix it in too. You know, she's like Future.
Maybe so. That would be funny.
I'm trying to think. I got this. Okay, George Strait.
You can put
Maybe like a
yourself
Tim
there.
McGraw. Maybe.
I mean, I love Tim McGraw.
I'm trying to think of just kind of some older.
Oh, Alan Jackson.
Alan Jackson,
Duh.
that's good,
I was
that's
about to
good.
say, who do I like listen to all the time in my
Alan
90s
Jackson.
country list?
Yeah.
Alan Jackson.
I was trying to say my hellos to his daughter back in high school.
Stop turning.
That's a good one. That's such a
September
good one.
day.
2.7 seconds. Raelynn, we asked this at
Toby
at the
Keith
end.
too.
Toby Keith.
Ugh.
At the end of all of our interviews. Thanks for coming on the podcast. Really appreciate it. Man to woman, what is the key to success?
Man to woman, man to man. Man to woman, what's the key to success? I would say consistency. Consistency and just working your ass off.
You got any like girl or like guy advice for like
girl advice for you dudes?
Girl advice for us, yeah.
Y'all got to get your shit together, guys.
That's what my mom tells me. She's like, just get your shit together.
You got to quit falling down. You got to quit breaking legs, bro. You got to quit breaking legs.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding with you.
No, that's good.
Y'all find your special ladies one day.
I've been talking to the girls at the gym.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
that's a good start, I guess.
But I'm like not getting the numbers. Like I'm just playing it cool. Like,
playing it cool. Okay.
First room
I do have a question. What Dodgers?
Yeah.
Why are you a Dodgers fan?
Well, we got the hat when we went to Dash in LA last year. He got the hat for one of our interviews with Lauren Gray. She was like another little girl out there that's like went out there when she was like 17, 18. But then he just lended me the hat. So you like the hat?
So you're not a Dodgers fan?
No.
Then why the hell are you wearing the hat?
Because it's a cool hat. You like it? You like
I don't.
Come on.
I'm more of a Dodgers fan because one of the players I went to high school with.
Mookie Betts. That's genuine. That's cool.
But for him, he wanted the hat, so I gave it to him.
It's because I've been growing my hair out for the past like year and a half, and I've been wearing beanies for the past like year.
No,
and a half,
I just think. I think it's a little disingenuous, but it's okay.
All right, call my shit up.
I'm just curious. I'm like, okay, you're from Nashville.
I know.
But you wear a Dodgers hat just because it's cool, man.
I'm ready
what, though? I will say, I'm like a mixed fans. Like, I grew up loving LSU because my dad was from Louisiana. But then now that I'm a Tennessee girl and my husband loves Tennessee, I have to love Tennessee. But if Tennessee and LSU are going against it, I'm going to go for Tennessee, right? But I do love LSU as my secondary team. Yeah. Same with the Astros. I grew up in Houston, but now that like my husband's from Atlanta, like I love the Braves.
So you're into sports.
So into it. I'm more of like I'm like a wife into it. Yeah. Like I want him to win because I want my husband happy. You know what I mean? But also it's like, and I love sports on. I love it when I love this season of sports because everybody's together, families together. Yeah. It brings a sense of community. And so that's why I love it.
Yeah, I went to Tennessee.
Do I know what the hell's going on? Absolutely not. But I'm learning.
Football is also the hardest sport to even like understand how.
You know when the team wins or loses. That's pretty nice.
Especially when we beat Alabama. Well, Raelynn, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much for having us. I appreciate you.
No problem.